15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back on the Success Blueprint. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I hope you have checked out the Wednesday, which is Getting Real with Daniel Craig Johnson. The first episode is online. I hope that you listen to it. Otherwise, go back and do it. The next one is going to be up on Wednesday, and it's going to be another powerful one. The episode is called Why Visualization is Not a Fluke, the Day I Met Michael Jackson. And it's going to be an interesting one. For today, we get back to powerful life tips. This is part 2, and it's called Turning Envy into Empowerment. How envy consumes and what we can do about it. And you know, envy is like a flame that burns from within, a fire that consumes everything in its path. It's an emotion that can take root in the smallest corners of our hearts, slowly growing into something that overshadows our joy, our peace, and even our sense of self-worth. Envy consumes itself. That's as simple as it is. And if you give it a foothold in your life, it will take you with it. We all felt it at one point or another. That pang of envy when we see someone else enjoying success, happiness, or a life that we wish we had. It's a natural human emotion. But when left unchecked, envy can become a destructive force that takes over our lives. It clouds our judgment, taints our relationships, and keeps us from appreciating the blessings we already have. So in this episode, I want to explore with you the deeper meaning of envy, what we can learn from it, and how we can prevent it from taking over our lives. We'll also share 5 practical tips for managing envy and turning it into something positive. What's the deeper meaning of envy? Envy as a reflection of our insecurities. And at its core, that's what envy is about, wanting what someone else has. It's about feeling inadequate or unworthy because we don't have it. Envy is a mirror that reflects our insecurities, our fears, and our deepest desires. When we see someone else living a life we aspire to, it can trigger feelings of inadequacy, making us question our own worth. But there's one thing. Envy is rooted in a scarcity mindset. It convinces us that there's only so much success, happiness, love to go around. And if someone else has it, that means there's less for us. This couldn't be further from the truth, guys. Life is abundant and there's more than enough for every one of us. Envy, however, will make you blind to this reality. And it will keep us trapped in a cage and in a cycle of comparison and dissatisfaction because of the lives of others, social media, and all those things that feed into it. When we allow envy to take over, it becomes a thief of joy. It robs us of our ability to celebrate others' success and to recognize the value of our own journey. And what happens, it turns our focus outward, making us constantly compare ourselves with others. So what can we learn? What are the lessons from envy? Well, envy is often seen as negative emotion. There's an other side to it. It can also be a powerful teacher if we're willing to look deeper. Envy can reveal important insights about ourselves and our desires. I want to share some key lessons that we can learn from envy. Envy, first of all, highlights our deepest desires. When we feel envious of someone else, it's often because they have something we deeply desire. Rather than dismissing this feeling, we can use it as a clue to uncover what we truly want in life. Envy can point us toward our goals and aspirations. Secondly, envy reveals our insecurities. Envy can shed a light on our insecurities, put a spotlight there. When we feel threatened by someone else's success, it's usually because we're not confident in our own abilities or worth. By acknowledging these insecurities, we can begin to work on them and build a stronger sense of self-esteem. And number 3, envy reminds us to be grateful. It often arises when we focus on what we lack rather than what we have. It's a reminder to shift our perspective and practice gratitude. When we take the time to appreciate our own blessings, envy loses its power over us. Number 4, envy can motivate us to improve. While envy can be destructive, it can also be a motivator. When we see someone achieving something we want, it can inspire us to work harder and strive for our own success. The key is to channel envy into positive action rather than letting it consume us. And number 5, envy teaches us to let go. Ultimately, it teaches us the importance of letting go and not applying a scarcity mindset, letting go of comparison, letting go of resentment, and letting go of the need to control others' paths. When we release envy, we free ourselves to focus on our own journey and to celebrate others' successes without feeling threatened. Let me give you 5 tips to overcome envy and embrace abundance, and I hope that you use that. Now that we've explored the lessons envy can teach us, I want to talk to you about how to apply these insights in our lives. And here are 5 practical tips for that. Number 1, practice gratitude daily. It's one of the most important things. Gratitude is a cornerstone. It is literally the mother of all other virtues. If you don't have gratitude, then you're already losing a battle. One of the most effective ways to combat envy is to cultivate that habit of gratitude. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you're thankful for. The simple practice can shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, reducing feelings of envy and increasing your overall sense of well-being. Number 2, celebrate others' successes. Mitfreude, as Carl Jung calls it. Instead of letting envy take over when someone else achieves something you desire, make a conscious effort to celebrate their success. Congratulate them, express genuine happiness for them, and remind yourself that their success doesn't diminish your own potential. That will lead to overall more happiness. You will be perceived differently, and when you practice that, even if it's maybe not immediately 100% genuine, but carry on doing it, and your body and your chemistry and your mind will adapt, and it will help you for your future life. Number 3, focus on your own journey. Take time and look at what you are doing, not what other people are doing. You have your own battles, you have your own joys and your own things to be grateful for. Envy often stems from comparing ourselves to others. To counteract this, focus on your own journey and progress. Set personal goals, track your achievements, and remind yourself that everyone's path is unique. And by staying focused on your own growth, you will be less likely to feel envious of others. Number 4, turn envy into motivation. Rather than letting envy consume you, use it as a source of motivation. If you are envious of someone else's success, ask yourself what steps you can take to achieve your own version of that success. Let envy fuel your determination to improve and grow, rather than holding you back. And number 5, surround yourself with positivity. The people we surround ourselves with have a major impact on our mindset. So surround yourself with positive, supportive individuals who uplift and inspire you. When you're in an environment that fosters positivity and encouragement, you'll be less likely to feel envious and more likely to embrace abundance. What's the payoff? Well, the payoff is freedom, fulfillment, and joy. When we learn to overcome envy and embrace a mindset of abundance, the rewards are immense. You will feel it immediately in your life. We free ourselves from the constant cycle of comparison and dissatisfaction, and that allows us to experience greater joy and fulfillment in our lives. We become more confident in our own abilities, more appreciative for our blessings or over our blessings, and more supportive of others' successes. By letting go of envy, we also open ourselves up to greater opportunities. And when we're not consumed by jealousy or resentment, we can focus on our own growth and pursue our goals with clarity and determination. We become more resilient, more motivated, and more capable of achieving our dreams. Because in the end, envy is a choice. We can choose to let it consume us, or we can choose to let it go. We can choose to see the world through a lens of scarcity, or we can choose to embrace abundance. The power is in your hands, and you make the choice. So next time you feel that familiar pang of envy, remember this. Envy consumes itself, but it doesn't have to consume you. By recognizing the lessons envy has to offer, practicing gratitude and focusing on your own journey, you can turn envy into a force for good in your life. You can reclaim your joy, your peace, and your sense of self-worth. And in doing so, you can create a life that is truly abundant, one that is filled with freedom, fulfillment, and endless possibility. Envy is a poison. Get it out of your life. It is also something that Stoicism addresses very well. It is the mother of all vices. And gratitude is the mother of all virtues. So work on your envy, recognize it, don't ignore it, don't say it's not there. This is not that you should denounce envy, that you should denounce its existence in your life. It's rather about acknowledging it and investigating where it comes from. And that's it on envy. This is a powerful tip. Trust me, this will turn your life around. Practice it for 4 weeks. Really look inward and see, when is this happening? Why is it happening? And what are the underlying triggers that are causing it? And then address those, because that is where the magic happens, when we go deeper and when we do some soul searching to find out, why are we engaging with our outside world in the way that we do? And usually the answer 9 out of 10 times lies within ourselves. And that was it, short and sweet, for your way to the gym or on the treadmill, wherever you get your dopamine hit. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you on Wednesday on Getting Real with Daniel Craig Johnson. I hope you have a fantastic week until then. This is Daniel, your host on the Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care.